So what we got here is a 1972 or 1973 it's a U-Haul. It was U-Haul owned it. It's an International 1600 that we got. Nice little dump truck, nice dump bed on it, good load capacity. And we got this quite a while ago, years and years and years ago. And I've done a little work on it here and there when we have time, some downtime. The last thing I'd done to this was we had a new master cylinder we put on. So we had put on a new master, a new booster that Tyler's under there putting some vacuum lines on right now. So the booster sits under the cab there. And we had changed the soft lines on the front to the hubs, the soft line in the rear. We had, I believe, turned these drums. This one might have been the one we had to get new rear drums on. We had the front turned. We had all the shoes relined, all new hardware, all new wheel cylinders. We had gone through the brakes on this. The only thing we had not replaced was the soft line right here, one little soft line. Well, and all the times that I had messed with this, it was one thing after another. First we did the pads, and while we were there we did the wheel cylinders, and then I think we just cleaned up the master, tried to use it, and it was just bypassing internally. So we got a new master, put it on, and then still we weren't getting any pressure to the brakes, so we replaced the booster, put it in, and finally we got some fluid moving around, and you know, kind of stopped this project, jumped on some other ones, you know, some other more important things that came up. And you know, this is back in 2018. So long story short, we get back to it, and owner wanted to do a few things to it. So first thing I do, I remember we had left off on the cooling system, and we knew it needed a water pump. It was leaking. We got hoses, thermostat, water pump, a few different things for it, put it on, but I mean, it was just disgusting. So we got I think we had got some TSP, just some stuff to clean through the cooling system and flush it all out before we put coolant in it. And you know, we get back to it, and we're bringing it out here, and the thing doesn't have brakes. So I'm going, well, you know, I don't remember where I left off on the brakes, but I saw this line here, and I'm like, well, fuck, that's probably where all the fluid leaked out. So we got that changed, went through, tried to bleed everything, no pressure. We're getting no pressure, no fluid movement. So popped the master back off, opened it up, and there was definitely contaminated fluid in it. And I couldn't think of why. I was figuring, well, maybe it just absorbed that much fucking water, you know, even though it sat, because it's got this open vent on the top. Just, you know, it's got this little splash shield so it doesn't squirt straight out. But you know, thinking maybe it just absorbed that much goddamn water. And pulled it apart, and brand new, one of the, not the outer one closest to the pedal, but this back cup seal here was just swelled up, something fierce and kind of just soft and nasty. So figured, well, fuck, somehow we must have, something happened. No explanation for it. But somehow it got contaminated. And long story short, I think my helper, when I was not Tyler here, he's innocent, but when I was underneath trying to bleed brakes last time, you know, had somebody else running the pedal and topping off the master cylinder, and it appears that they had put power steering fluid in there. So destroyed the seals in the master, destroyed the seals in the booster, so we had to replace both of those. And then, you know, thinking about it, oh, you know what? No, let's go back a little bit. The front soft, we didn't change any soft lines on there, I remember. So we got new soft lines, thinking, okay, anything that fluid hit, it contaminated and swelled up seals, and we're just going to replace it all again. So took the fucking all the wheels back off. We got new cup seals for all the wheel cylinders, replaced them all, and you know, finally went through and had all the soft lines disconnected. We flushed out the metal line with 99% alcohol, and then let it sit open overnight after we blown air and shit through it to flush it all out. But you know, came back this morning, plugged all the lines in, stomped on the master. We're getting fluid everywhere, and we sent a gallon through, just hoping to just keep flushing everything out, and everything was looking good. Got clean fluid everywhere. Thought we got rid of all the air, and it just seemed like the pedals is still going straight to the fucking floor. Not like, but it's to the floor. And if you pump it up a few times, it's up at the top and it holds. So you're thinking, okay, I might not have adjusted any of the shoes out. You know, you only have so much travel in your pedal, so if your drums aren't, or if your shoes aren't adjusted properly, by the time you push the pedal all the way down, well, the pistons and the wheel cylinders expand out, and finally, you know, maybe at the end of the stroke, pedal stroke, maybe they touch the drum, but there's no pressure on them. So I went through and adjusted all the drums to where this shoe is pretty much dragging on the drum, on all of them. And if I got, you know, any wheel jacked up and I'm rocking it or rotating it and I have Tyler hit the brake, it gets a little firmer, but I could still rock it. So I think we still got a little bit of air in the lines somewhere, somehow. So we just got some more brake fluid. We're gonna pump her back through. But trying to get this truck in somewhat usable condition. The inside of this was just, we had a brand new, well, we had the seat reupholstered. Looks real good, but underneath the old seat, it was just filled with rat shit. So we still got to get in here and pressure wash all this, douche it all out. Owner's getting a nice one-piece solid floor mat for it, getting the new headliner for it. We just got boots. I need to make the hold down clamp for this, and got a little bellow underneath the pedal there. It's supposed to be there. Got a few things for it. But again, we came out to do the cooling system and had to end up messing back with the brakes, which we just had to go pick up some new fluid. So we're going to send as much fluid as we need to get the rest of this air out of this system. And then we've got to clean out the cooling system. But as we had filled it up and flushed it once or twice, I noticed that the intake, I hope it's the intake manifold leaking water down on the valley and then back along the side of the block. So got a new intake manifold gasket, valley pan gasket. So this has all got to get ripped off, cleaned up. Got new hoses for the vacuum line down to the booster. We got some new fuel lines, new heater hose right now. We just got it, you know, circulating back into itself, bypassing the heater core, because I still have to pressure test the heater core, make sure it's good. If not, I do have a spare that we had replaced one in another truck, but then I was finally able to get the one that was clogged up clean and working. So if this one's cracked or broke or leaking, I've at least got a sealed one we could put in it. But this one might be good, but it definitely gonna need to be cleaned out. You know, other than that, this thing seemed to run okay. It's got 18, 19, 20, it's got 6+ year old gas in it, but it still fires up and runs decent. It looks like I mean, I can't remember. There's so much shit I've done out here, but that carb looks way too clean. It's got dust on it from sitting, but I see new Gates fuel line on it, so I've at least done that. It looks like I probably at least resealed the carb and cleaned it out. But when this thing's running, it also sounds like it's got a little bit of a knock. So he's, shit, that's another thing we forgot, Tyler. We're supposed to get a new stethoscope.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, try to track down where that little knock or tick's coming from. It sounds, I don't know. It's definitely bottom end. It could just be something slapping around the torque converter on the trans side. It could be a rod. I don't know. We'll dig into it, but first we've got to do the brakes to where we can move it. We parked it here outside of the shop just because we're gonna be draining fucking just constant water through it. So brought it out here to do it. So now we're just, you know, got decent weather, so we've been doing the brakes out here in the fucking dirt rather than in the shop. But we're gonna get back to it. What are the chances that we have brakes at the end of the day?
Slim to none.
He knows. He's been around. All right, we'll be back.